Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I light this character. This is going to be a beginner's tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoy this. So let's get started. So first of all, I just want to show you guys my scene, and it's not really complicated. It's the basic portrait lighting, and I'm just going to start deleting this so that we can start from scratch, and hopefully we're going to get something way better than what I show you guys here. So should start deleting some stuff. I'm assuming anybody using this has a basic understanding of Blender, and you know how I got this transparent background and all that. And I'm just assuming that. So in case it seems like what I'm doing is not what you're getting. So we have a camera. I'm assuming you know how to use a camera. You know how to put a camera in your scene. So let's get started. So first of all, what I like to do is play with the HDR. Right now we have an HDR in our scene, so I have to take that out. And first of all, I'm just going to horizontally bring this in and join this area with this area and drag this up. Take this and go to the shader editor. I'm going to go to world, and we have our HDR here. So I just going to delete this. So this is what you're usually going to get when you start a Blender and you don't have HDR in your scene. So this is how your lighting is going to look like. I'm just going to render this real quick to show you guys how it looks like. So we can see it looks very bland. There's no form. Nothing is actually carving this object, this character. So we are going to try and fix that. So imagine you just brought your character, you modded your character, you sculpted your character in Blender or ZBrush and you brought it to Blender, and you want it to look gorgeous. So let's fix that real quick. So I'm just going to go to the world properties here. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Then we'll click on color and get an HDRI in. So we'll go to click on environment texture and we'll go to open, and I'm going to get my HDRI. Where did I keep that? And back up HDRI and yoga room. So you don't have this yoga room. So how do you get this? I can put this in the description below, but you can get it from this website here for free called polyavin.com. This is where I get my HDRI. The description will be in the link to this site will be in the description below. So to get this yoga HDRI, you click on search and you just type yoga. And this is it right here. You click on this and you click on download. I downloaded the 2K. You can download 1K. It doesn't really matter. It's just textual lighting. So get back to the tutorial. So you have your yoga room. So what you can do, we are going to go to Shift A so that we can control the HDR. First of all, before I go, let me show you guys something real quick. Let's go to our render properties and go to down under the film palette. We will turn off transparency. That's what I did. Usually it's turned off by default, but yeah, it's turned on because I wanted transparency. I don't want to see the HDRI in my background. So this is the HDRI. You can see it right here. This is the yoga room. And we want to control this yoga room. Right now it's kind of dim because on my default it was 0.4. So I'm just going to take this back to 1. This is what you're usually gonna, oops, what was that? A keyboard messing up. Whoa. Sorry about that. So we're just going to put 1, enter. So this is what usually you're going to get when you do this, when you do what I just did. So how do we turn this HDR? We're going to go to Shift A, we're going to go to search, and we're going to type mapping. Sorry, this is really basic stuff right here, guys. I just want to show you guys how to light the basic characters. So in case this is too rudimentary for you, you can skip. And we're going to go to texture coordinates and vector. So now we want to turn this HDR so we can actually affect the lighting. So for example, yeah, let me do this. One sec. Let me take the rotation on the z-axis, and you can see we are turning the HDRI. So there's a light here, I think. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, this light here, it's there's 3 lights here. If we press 0, okay, we press 0, you can see the 3 lights I'm talking about. Now, if we turn this down this way so that it can be back in the character, and we render real quick. So we can see that light rimming this character here. So you can see the power of the image that we just downloaded from Aven.hdri, or whatever the site name is. And already it's looking beautiful. But we really want to push this to where it looks amazing. So you can actually do this. Some people might be satisfied with this, like this looks cool, but not to me. So let's push this. So first of all, I'm going to tone this down because I don't really want the HDRI to really be the primary source of lighting. So I'm going to take this down to 0.4. And now we see dim, so we don't have really cool brightness. We want to light this character with Blender's lighting tools. So the HDR lighting, I'm using it as a base light. I need the image to actually bounce off these characters to actually give sense of realism and sense of texture. Because in the real world, things bounce around. When we're in the room, the color of the room bounces on you. So I want to make it look as if this character is in the room. That's why I need the HDRI. So, but I don't want it to be so bright. I don't want the big lights in the scene to actually affect that. So I'm just going to go Shift A, and I'm going to go to lighting, going to area lights. This is actually one of the best light. I think you can light anything with this light. Usually just use this light. So go to light, and we change this to rectangle, so because we really want to really play with the shapes of this light. So I'm going to go to rotation, get it to a 45-degree angle kinda, and just rotate this. Yeah. So we can't really see what this light is doing, which is messed up. So we can take this to like 100. I think it should be brighter, maybe 200. It's getting there. 300. Yep, that works. There's something you can do with Blender. You can say 100 times 3, which is cool. Like, that's really cool. It just takes it to 300, or you can just put that to times 4. So now we really get in there, and this already is looking cool. I can just take this brightness a little bit more to maybe 400 because I really want it to be bright. Yeah, that's okay. I think this works, or maybe 350. And this thing about working, guys, you actually have to go back and forth to actually get what's good for you. So what I'm going to do is just go to Shift D to duplicate this, right click to stop that, and G, just move it a bit so I know that's what I'm holding. I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to mirror. I'll mirror it on the Y axis, I think. Yeah. Yep. It's the axis. So I want to rim this character. I want to separate this character from the background. So I'll turn this like this. I'll turn this like this. Yeah. So you see what's going on here? You can see the light, this light appearing here. So I want this to be like this. So this is the cool thing about lighting. We actually sculpting this character also with lighting, because we want the forms of the face, all that artwork we did when we were sculpting, to show. So we get that. So I'm going to increase this. There's one thing in the area light that's really amazing. Usually the area light is like a soft light. It's like, imagine a light, if you did photography, imagine a light in a softbox. That's what the area light is. Now you can actually take off the softbox or reduce the intensity or whatever the softbox is doing by this thing called spread, because what it's doing is taking this light and it's spreading the light. And we don't want that when it comes to a rim light. We want a small light source, and which we are going to do with this. We're going to take this to like 60. So now you see it's more intense because we've, instead of diffusing the light, making it smaller. Because when you put a white ball, if you take a light and you put a white piece of paper in front of it, the light is going to get diffused through that piece of paper, or you get what I mean. So, and let me do this. Let me rotate this and get a better angle. Yeah, I think that works. So we can like maybe play with this. I don't want it so big. So yeah, I think this does it. So let me take this down to maybe like 200. Yeah, I think this will. We have this rim light that rims the face. That was the lighting setup I wanted. I wanted the rim light to rim my face. I could actually really go in and play with this, but that when it comes to lighting, you can go crazy. You can go put it in little. Excuse me. You can go put in little light to just fill up some shadows. Maybe how you want to curve the light and all that. But this is just a simple tutorial. I don't want to go crazy like that. Yeah, I think that's good. So for this light, I want to increase it even more. Or maybe just take this spread down a bit. So maybe I can take it to like 150. Yeah, that does it. Now she's popping. Already this looks nice. I could take this and work with it. But you see, the lighting is actually, the environmental lighting is actually affecting this. I think if I should turn this off, you can see what's happening to the hair. I don't want that light to spread to the hair. I want to control that light in some kind of way. And how can I do that? So we are going to get a negative effect where we're going to put like I forgot what they call it in photography. We will get, let me just show you by doing this. So I'm just going to create the mesh, just brought the plane in, and we'll just scale this like this. Then I'll go to edge, and I'm just going to drag this down. So what I want to do is that I want this to stop the spreading of this light to the hair, because I want the hair to be as dark as possible. So and then object mode and change, just bring this here. Okay, I don't want it to be visible to the camera, obviously. So, but I'm just gonna bring this. Yeah. So, but I don't want it to block the face, just the hair. Just the hair. Yeah, so let me see. So we can see that. So how can we make this even better? Because we need a negative effect. So I'll go to the material of this object and I'll create a new material, and I'll go to base color and just make it black. Now that is what I want. Now if you put this to white, you can see the light will bounce. So you can see that effect there. And that's how you control light in the real world, and that's how you control light even in Blender, which is really amazing. So you don't need to, like, you can actually just go and just start putting planes in different places. Like, for example, I think this place is a bit too dark. I can just come, instead of bringing light and just putting there, or getting like, for example, I can get a point light, and then just say, okay, that place is too, no, you don't want to do it. It's look like there's a bulb. Yeah, you can do this, but you could, instead of just putting so much light in your scene, you can actually just delete this, take a plane, mesh plane, bring this out here as scale this plane, and already we can see the effect. It's taking out those shadows because this is a whiteboard. If I come and I put this here, this is a whiteboard and bouncing the light. So I can just say, so I don't know if you've been to a movie set or a photography studio, there's always a whiteboard around, a white and a blackboard. And that's what we just did with this. This is a blackboard. This is a whiteboard. The blackboard does a negative effect where it's like, it's pushing black into the scene. I just want a little bit of blackness into that scene. So I don't want the hair to look too bright. I want to stop this light from entering here so I can actually do this. And I think there's something in Blender where you can like say, okay, this light don't affect this. Like I think it's linking, but it's not really realistic. You really want to have this real world effect, because if you can't have this light without bouncing here, so you need a way to block it, not by excluding this hair from this light. It's just weird. So you can actually just work with this. If I bring it to black, you can see the shadow is back on. That's for this plane here. If I bring this to the bright side, I'm taking off that shadow. And that's how we sculpt in lighting. You can just play around with lights and shadows just by bringing object into your scene. So we have that, we have this. I think I can still bring this up a bit, but I don't want that forehead to shine too much. Okay. Now let's take off this HDRI. I don't like it in my scene, so I'm just going to go this. I'm going to go to film transparent, so we don't have that, but we still do need a background. Let me see. Oh, our plane is showing in our camera. So I'm just going to take this back down a bit, maybe increase the brightness or increase the size. So you increase the size, it's like this. Yeah, like this, yeah. So it's doing justice. So you can see with just two lights, we've actually done something amazing. It's really cool. So I can say I want to create a backdrop. I don't want it to be transparent, obviously. So I'm just going to create another plane and scale this. I still want that to float though. I don't want shadows. So I'll bring this down here. What I'm going to do is I want the background to be as far as possible from the character, because I don't want the light from the background to bounce into the character. I'm fine with what I have right now. So we can even render this to see what we have. Right. So let's go to our render setting real quick. So what I have in my render setting is like my samples on my viewport. Usually it shouldn't be this high, maybe 100. And this could be 300, but I like my render samples to be high enough, because I don't like what the denoiser does when I don't have enough samples. Like let's just render this today. So right now, I think this is pretty cool with 500 samples. Really, really amazing. Yeah, I can reduce the intensity of this because I think it's blown out a bit. So if I should make this 100, yeah, I don't know if YouTube will allow you to see this, but if I should make this 100 and I render, obviously my render will be faster. Okay, it rendered in like 8 seconds, but I don't like what it does. It kind of blurs out some details, and I don't like that. So I like to put my samples to like 600 or 500 or something, or at least 1000 for my final render, just like, so I don't even use this. So because it's just one image. It's like if you're doing like a video maybe, but it's just one image, so I can take this to like 600. 600 is good for this tutorial. So now we see this is too bright, so we're just going to reduce this to like 100. Yeah, I think that works. And let's go back to working on our background. So how I usually do my background is I'll go to Edge and I'll go to E and bring this up like this. Or just bring this up like this and bring this, because I'm in perspective view, so I don't know what I'm doing. So I take it up. I make sure it's slanty this way. The reason I'm doing that, I'm going to show you guys in a sec. Just bring this down a bit. The reason I'm doing this, let's scale this on y-axis. The reason I'm doing this is because you see the sharp edge here. I'm just going to go to edge, Ctrl B, take this and, because I don't want an edge, I just want this. So this is cool. So I can just shade smooth, right click shade smooth. So that's that. And voila, already this light is bouncing up, which I don't want. So we'll go edit G, just bring this back a bit so it doesn't, yeah, maybe a little bit, yeah. And material, take a new material, give it maybe white or something, who cares. And note that the HDRI is going to affect your color. This is the color. The reason why you're seeing this kind of cream-like color is because of the HDR. The walls of the HDR are kind of like cream, so it's bouncing, which is amazing. You don't just want white, but you can do white. You can actually do whatever you want. You can blur it. You can, but I really want white. For example, I can light, area light. I love this light so much. It's very versatile. You should always light your background anyways. So I'm just going to increase the size and just take this to like 300. 500. Maybe reduce this to like 70. Yeah. There you go. Rotate this like this. Even make it bigger. Way bigger, and maybe make it 800. Now we have white. But I don't want that. I just want like maybe 600. Just blow it out. So and that's cool. I love this. I think it's cool. We can actually have that rim light. We want to turn the HDRI to that place. I think it's still there. That's why we have this. We can do that. We can just make it a 3-point lighting. So we can giving you guys more info here. I didn't do this in my own work. Just dashing value. Just giving value. You guys should like and subscribe. I really want to do this YouTube thing, and if you guys like and subscribe, it will encourage me to do that. So I'm just going to, and comment also. The comments are really amazing. So I'm just going to increase this. I'll make sure this is low, maybe like 50. So we really have that. That rim light there. So let's render. So I think we nailed it. This is really amazing. You didn't really do much and we have good lighting. I still think this is too much though. I can actually, let's stop this. Okay. Let's stop this. Maybe it's too much. Now I'm looking at it. Maybe I want it thinner. Yeah. Maybe like this. Oops. Sorry guys, my tutorials are usually too long because I talk too much. I think there's a trick. I talk too much. I think this works. Let's try that. Yeah, this works. I hope you guys learned something. If you really want to go in depth to fix it, like maybe I would really like the ring light go this way, but I don't have enough time. I just want to show you guys how you can actually get something really beautiful that you can actually put as a portfolio piece if you're struggling in lighting, something really basic and simple. We just used like 2 lights to actually achieve this, just 1 light with an HDR, right? And bam, we have something really, really beautiful. So we can go into Photoshop and actually enhance this, like increase the saturation and increase the levels, the contrast, and it will be amazing. Or you do that in Blender too. I don't usually do that, like using Photoshop. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Until I see you guys next time. Next time I'm going to show you guys how I textured this character, and maybe I might actually drop this character so that you guys can follow along. Who knows? Okay, until next time, peace, bye.